बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। पिछले लेक्चर तक हमने जो पैराबोलिक पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन है उनके स्टेबिलिटी एनालिसिस के लिए जो मेथड यूज़ किया था वो था आपके पास वॉन न्यूमैन स्टेबिलिटी एनालिसिस, या जिसको हम 4A मेथड भी कहते हैं। लेकिन इस मेथड में आपने ये देखा था कि हम जो इनिशियल और बाउंड्री कंडीशंस हैं, यानी जो आपका प्रॉब्लम है उसमें जो कंडीशंस दी हुई हैं उनको हम इन्वॉल्व नहीं करते। तो अगर हम ये चाहते हैं कि हमारे पास जो भी कंडीशंस गिवन है वो भी आपके एनालिसिस में इन्वॉल्व हो रही हों, तो उस सूरत में हम एक सेकंड मेथड अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं जो कि मैट्रिक्स मेथड कहलाता है। मैट्रिक्स मेथड में हम कंसीडर करते हैं कि द अप्रॉक्सीमेट solution of the j+1 time level is obtained by using the jth time level, and it can be written in this matrix form. और फिर यहाँ से हमें पता चल रहा है कि क्योंकि हम j+1 टाइम लेवल की जो सोल्यूशन है उसको jth इंस्टांस से कैलकुलेट तो कर रहे हैं, बट ये jth इंस्टांस इस मैट्रिक्स A से एम्पलीफाई हो रहा है जब इसका प्रोडक्ट इससे आ रहा है। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जब jth इंस्टांस की वैल्यू आप यूज़ करते हैं तो उसमें अगर एरर प्रोजेक्शन के चांसेस हैं तो वो इस मैट्रिक्स की इन्वॉल्वमेंट की वजह से है। तो फॉर द स्टेबिलिटी इसका मतलब है, या फॉर द सॉल्यूशन टू बी स्टेबल और द एरर्स टू बी बाउंडेड, हम ये एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि हमारे पास इस मैट्रिक्स ए के ऊपर कोई कंडीशन होनी चाहिए। इसका मतलब ये है कि जैसे हमने 4A मेथड में एक एम्प्लीफिकेशन फैक्टर आइडेंटिफाई किया था और हमने कहा था कि इट शुड बी बाउंडेड, in a similar manner here the amplification factor will be the norm of this matrix according to some suitable norm, एंड हमें स्टेबिलिटी के लिए ये इंश्योर करना पड़ेगा दिस नॉर्म शुड बी लेस देन इक्वल टू 1। अब सबसे पहले तो हम ये देखेंगे कि हमारे पास ये जो हमने एक फॉर्म आइडेंटिफाई की है, मैट्रिक्स फॉर्म ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन और अप्रोक्सीमेशन एट j+1 इंस्टांस, ये जब हम फाइनाइट डिफरेंस स्कीम्स बनाते हैं फॉर अ पैराबोलिक पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन इन जनरल, और इन पर्टिकुलर अगर हम एक वन डायमेंशनल पैराबोलिक पीडीई लेते हैं तो हमारे पास इसी टाइप की फॉर्म आती है। और फिर हम ये देखेंगे कि अगर ये फॉर्म हम जनरेट कर पाते हैं तो इसमें मैट्रिक्स ए जो है उसके करेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या हैं या उसके कोएफिशिएंट्स क्या हैं। सो एट द फर्स्ट स्टेप आपको पता है, वी लेट अस कंसीडर दैट x varies for the one dimensional case, let x varies from 0 to L, and the time variable t varies from some 0 to t, कैपिटल टी इंस्टांस तक हमें जाना है। इसके लिए हम डोमेन डिस्क्रिटाइजेशन करेंगे तो हम कहेंगे लेट एक्स आई इज इक्वल टू एक्स नॉट प्लस आई एच, एंड एक्स नॉट इन दिस केस इज ज़ीरो, एंड देन द वेरिएशन ऑफ आई इज फ्रॉम 0 टू सम n। हमने इसको n पार्ट्स में चेंज किया जिससे हमारे पास n+1 पॉइंट्स आए हैं, जिसमें से x नॉट और x n बाउंड्री पॉइंट्स हैं। Accordingly, we have NH is equal to L. In the similar manner, we discretize for the time domain. So let us consider Tj is equal to T naught plus some Jk. But again, T naught is the initial time, which is 0. So Tj will be Jk, and the variation of J is from some 0, which is the initial time, to some fixed time. इसको आप कैपिटल M कह लें, और टी एम का मतलब होगा आप इस टी कैपिटल टी इंस्टांस पर है, सो दैट एम के विल बी इक्वल टू कैपिटल टी। नेक्स्ट वी assume that using the finite difference approximation instead of the derivatives involved, we come up to a general scheme where the values of the j plus 1 time level, they are related with the j time level with the following expression. So we have a term involving I minus 1 of the j plus 1 instance, then together with the coefficient vi minus 1, then there is a coefficient vi which indicates the value of u at xi and tj plus 1, and then we have vi plus 1 u I plus 1 and j plus 1. Or then we consider the values of the jth time instance in a similar manner. So we have ci minus 1 and then it is ui minus 1, but now with respect to jth time instance. Then again ci and then uij and plus we have ci plus 1 ui plus 1 j. So we call it steric. आप देखिए कि यहाँ पर अगर हम इन बी आइज और सी आइज की वैल्यूज लें तो हम सिंपल एक्सप्लिसिट मेथड भी यहाँ सर इंडिकेट कर सकते हैं, सिंपल इम्प्लिसिट मेथड भी कर सकते हैं, फ्रैंक निकलसन भी कर सकते हैं एंड सिमिलरली बाकी हम मेथड्स डेवलप करते आ रहे हैं। अब we know that if this is a general finite difference scheme, then we find the values of the j plus 1 instance, because in such case फिलहाल तो ये implicit है, तो हमें ये करना पड़ेगा कि हम jth इंस्टांस को यूज करते हुए j plus 1 इंस्टांस पर अगर जाना चाहते हैं then we have to vary I according to the interior points which are 1, 2 and minus 1. You know that x naught and xn, they are boundary points. So the first value that we can take here is I is equal to 1. In such manner we have the relation b naught and then we have u naught j plus 1. Next we have b1, u I को 1 दिया हुआ है 1 j plus 1 and plus we have b2 I 2 j plus. The right hand side will be c naught of u naught j plus c1 u1 j plus c2 u2 j, where this value when x equal to x naught for all time levels, similarly here also x equal to x naught for all time levels, this is the left boundary value. This value can be obtained from the condition given at the left bound. In the similar manner, we take the other equations for varying I from 2 to onward. So the next equation will be b1 for I equal to 2, u1 j plus 1 plus now we have b2, then we have u2 j plus 1 and then we have b3 u3 j plus 1, and the right hand side in a similar manner is c1 u1 j plus c2 u2j plus c3 u3j. We keep on moving until we arrive at the last equation, which will be for I equal to n minus 1. So for I equal to n minus 1, this will be b n minus 2. And then we have n minus 2 j plus 1. The next value is b n minus 1. So this is n minus 1 j plus 1. And we have b n u n j plus 1 is equal to, the right hand side is c again n minus 2 u n minus 2 but of the jth instance, then c n minus 1 u n minus 1 of the jth instance plus c n u n j. Again you see that this u n j and this n j plus 1, that is the value of u at x equal to xn, which is the right boundary point. This is known for all time levels. This is the be given by the boundary condition. So this can be written as, in the matrix form we can convert this system of equation, क्योंकि if we use the j time level to find the j plus 1 time level, we have to solve this matrix equation. The unknowns will be, now this is not the unknown 0 j plus 1, it is the boundary, so we ignore this first and then we write 1 j plus 1 is the first. Then we have 2j plus 1, or we go up till, again un j plus 1 is not the unknown, it is a known, so we go up till un minus 1 j plus 1. So this is the vector of unknown. Next, we identify the coefficients in the form of a matrix from these equations. So to start with, the coefficient of u0 j plus 1, it is a known value, so this is not an unknown. So the first coefficient that we consider is of the unknown u1 j plus 1, it is b1, b2, then you see that there is 0 here, and onward there are all the coefficients are 0. Next equation is b1, b2, b3. Now the coefficient for u4 j plus 1 is not here, so there are all zeros. Next we see that if we go up till the last equation, so all the coefficients are 0 except the coefficient of un minus 2, and then we have un minus 1. If I want to write one more row, the second last row of this matrix, it will be 0, 0. Somewhere here we have bn minus 3, then we have bn minus 2, and then we have bn minus 1. So this is the matrix of the j plus 1 instance. Then similarly on the right hand side we will have the matrix for uj vector, which is identified as u1j, 2j, so on to n minus 1 j, because again u0j and unj, they are the boundary points. Now we have c1, c2, again we have 0 and then 0, then we have c1, c2, c3. Then we can write the second last row as c n minus 3, n minus 2, and n minus 1, and the last row is 0, 0, 0, so on 0, and then we have cn minus 2 and cn minus 1. Now we identify the values substituted from the boundary conditions in the form of a separate vector, in which the first component is, you can see from here, we left c naught u0j, and from the left hand side we had b naught u0j plus 1. So in the first component of this vector is this, and then all other components are 0, and the last component will be cn unj minus bn un, so it is unj plus 1, as you can see from the last question. So we can write it in the matrix form as, you can say this is the B matrix, then applied upon uj plus 1 vector of unknowns, then we have C matrix, the vector of knowns of the jth instance, and plus we have some vector dj, suppose. And next, in order to write the uj plus 1 vector in terms of uj, because here we see there is a matrix which is multiplied by uj plus 1, we consider let B be non-singular such that uj plus 1 can be written as B inverse C uj and plus B inverse applied upon D. Or in other words, it can be written as uj plus 1. Now we see that the amplification factor or the matrix that amplifies uj is B inverse C. Let us label it as A. Uj, and this is a matrix multiplied with a vector will give you another vector. So let me call it as Fj. So here A is identified as B inverse C. So it is the same form which we considered at the start of the lecture, that any finite difference scheme operated upon the parabolic equation can be written in this matrix form, and in that case we said that A norm will be the amplification factor, and we have also identified A as B inverse C. Similarly, we can write that uj can be written as A uj minus 1 plus we have fj minus 1. Now if uj depends upon j minus 1 iterate, then uj minus 1 depends upon a uj minus 2 plus fj minus 2, and we have this term j minus 1 already. So it can be written as a square uj minus 2 plus a f j minus 2 plus f of j minus 1. Next, iterating again, we have a cube j minus 3 plus we have a square f of j minus 3 plus a of f of j minus 2, and we have f of j minus 1. Continuing in this manner, we come at aj, and by induction it will be uj minus j, which is u naught, plus you see that if we have a square, then there is j minus 3. If it is a, then it is j minus 2. So if it is we have a j minus 1, because for cube here we have square, for square here we have a power 1. So here it will be f of naught. Why it is not? It is j minus j, because here it is j minus 1. So the next index is jth index. We subtract j from j to get f naught. Plus we have a j minus 2 f1, and plus so on we go up till a f of j minus 2 plus f of j minus 1. Further, we also observe here that this term includes the initial condition S. So we see that the boundary conditions, they are involved as the here the fj vector, while the initial condition, they are involved here as multiplied with this jth power of the matrix A. Now if somewhat we consider that the initial condition is perturbed, so we have aj, suppose u naught is replaced with u naught steric and it is a perturbed condition, then the solution will also be perturbed. So we have aj minus 1 f naught plus j minus 2 f1 plus so on plus a j should be f of j minus 2 plus f of j minus 1. We call it this equation as equation 1 and this as 2. And we further suppose that let error is ej at the jth step is the true value minus the approximate value or the perturbed value. In other words, we want to subtract 2 from 1 to get. Now you see that if we subtract, it will be aj and this is u naught minus u naught static, so it is e naught error at the initial step, and all of these terms will cancel out. Or in other words, ej is aj e naught. Or it can be reverted to a e j minus 1 because earlier we iterated, and then if we are reverting back, apply a on e naught to get e1, then again a on e1 to get e2. So we apply j minus 1 time to get ej minus 1 and 1 of the power of a, because this is a times a j times. So it is product of a j times. So one of them will be left. It can be written as this. So it is apparent that the scheme is stable if there exists a positive number m greater than 0, such that we have ej norm is less than equal to m times e naught norm. So we identify that m in this case is aj. Now since it is the product of aj times, so aj norm, it can be written as a norms j times. So this is norm of a j times. So this is in particular it can be less than 1 if the norm of a is less than equal to 1. So this is the condition of stability for any finite difference scheme. Next we have to consider an example to see that for the particular finite difference schemes how this condition translate into the condition as identified by Fourier method. For example, in the simple explicit method, if you recall, the condition for stability of the scheme or the boundedness of the solution is that lambda should be less than equal to half. So we consider the example of simple explicit scheme and we recall that the simple explicit scheme is given by this expression for the variation of I from 1 to n minus 1 in for the interior points, and j can be greater than equal to 0. The parameter lambda depends upon the material constant and the step lengths k and h. From this we see that on the left hand side only the coefficient of uij plus 1 is 1, all other coefficients 0. For example, if I take I is equal to 1, the coefficient of u1j plus 1 will be 1, all other coefficient will be 0. Similarly, for the next case, I2, only the coefficient of u2j plus 1 will be 1. And in each row, it means that if we identify the matrix B, in each row there will be only one coefficient, which is unity, and all other coefficients are 0. So this is an identity matrix of order n minus 1. Next, on the right hand side, if we take I equal to 1, we identify that this is the boundary condition. So it will be inclusive in the dj vector. While this, from here we see that it is the unknown u1j and then it is u2j. So there are the coefficients u1 minus 2 lambda and all other coefficients are 0. For the second equation, when u is equal to 2, the coefficient of u1 is lambda, u2 is 1 minus 2 lambda, u3 is lambda, and all other coefficients are 0. And similarly, if we go up till n minus 1, then this is the coefficient of n minus 2, and then this is the coefficient of n minus 1, and this is u and j, which is the boundary condition. So it will be inclusive in the dj vector. So furthermore, I can identify, although it is not required, because for the stability we only need to find the matrix A, but here D vector can be identified as we have lambda u0j, and then from all other equation there is no involvement up till we find an involvement of the last equation as lambda u and j. You see that you observe here that actually the involvement of the boundary condition does not come from the j plus 1 instance here, because here in the explicit scheme, the left hand side, we have the coefficients for only one unknown at a time as unity. Now, A should be equal to, we already know that it is B inverse C, and B in this case is an identity matrix, so inverse of identity is also an identity. So in particular, A is actually the matrix C. So we have to ensure that the norm of this matrix C, the scheme is stable. If the suitable norm, you can take any appropriate norm, the norm of this matrix A, or in particular here in this case matrix C, should be less than equal to 1. Next, we can take one or two cases for the appropriate norm of A, because we know that there are known norms as infinity norm, 1 norm, and 2 norm. The infinity norm is the maximum row sum, the 1 norm is the maximum column sum, and the 2 norm is the spectral radius of the matrix A. If we take the first case as infinity norm, then we have to identify two more cases, because we see that the if we take the row sum, the maximum sum that we can have is from 3 components, lambda 1 minus 2 lambda and lambda, and we have to ensure that what is the mod of 1 minus 2 lambda. So we take two cases when 1 minus 2 lambda is either greater than equal to 0 or it is negative. If it is positive, then in such case lambda is restricted between 0 to half, and the norm will be equal to, we take the sum of these three positive values, which is 1, and it is this condition identify that this, when lambda is between 0 to half, the scheme is stable. If we take the second case, 1 minus 2 lambda is negative, or the lambda is greater than half, we see that the value of the norm becomes 4 lambda minus 1, and if we restrict or enforce that it should be less than equal to 1, then it demands that lambda should be less than equal to half again, which is not possible. So this case, for this case, the scheme cannot be identified as a stable scheme. So this is the case, 1 minus 2 lambda must be greater than equal to 0, lambda should be less than equal to half, scheme will be stable. It is the same condition as identified by the Fourier method. एडिशनली आप ये कर सकते हैं कि आप टू नॉर्म ले लें. अब टू नॉर्म में आप देखेंगे कि आपके पास इवन एक्सप्रेशन भी वही आएगी स्टेबिलिटी एनालिसिस के लिए जो आपके पास फोरेस मेथड से आती है. इसके अलावा आप ये कर सकते हैं कि आप इस मैट्रिक्स मेथड को यूज़ करते हुए और फाइनाइट डिफरेंस स्कीम जैसे ड्यूफोर्ड फ्रैंकल का को प्रूव करें कि इट इज़ ऑलमोस्ट स्टेबल और इट इज़ अनकंडीशनली स्टेबल मेथड.